Pete Rice. I'm a certified safety and industrial hygiene professional. Today we're going to review GHS, or Globally Harmonized System, and Hazard Communications Safety Data Sheets. For nearly 3 decades, OSHA's Hazard Communication Standard, or HCS, has required chemical manufacturers, distributors, or importers to provide material safety data sheets, or MSDSs, to communicate the hazards of hazardous chemicals, sometimes referred to as hazardous substances. This is about to change. Under the revised Hazard Communication Standard, which incorporates the new globally harmonized system, MSDSs will gradually be replaced with the newly named Safety Data Sheets, or SDSs. Is there a difference between the SDS and the MSDS? The answer is yes. MSDSs are used in the United States, while SDSs are currently used globally. I'm going to review the differences and similarities between the MSDS and the SDS because it's important that you understand how the existing MSDS content and format are being changed into the GHS SDS content and format. There are 4 main differences I'm going to review. 1 is the new sheet format. 2 is the new name. 3 is storing old forms. And 4 is the strict formatting. The first difference is the new sheet format. Currently, there are different MSDS styles and formats used across the United States. The most common being the 8-section OSHA MSDS and 16-section ANSI, or the American National Standards Institute standard MSDS. OSHA's adoption of GHS now mandates the use of a single GHS format for safety data sheets, a format which features 16 sections in a strict ordering. Here's a sample GHS SDS sheet. The second difference is the name. The material safety data sheets are being renamed from MSDS to simply Safety Data Sheet, or SDS. The truth is, an SDS is an MSDS, and they are really the same thing in terms of the role they play in the Hazard Communication Standard. The third difference relates to storing old forms. Going forward, an employer won't need to maintain 2 different libraries, one for SDSs and another for MSDSs. Over the next couple of years, an employer should expect their MSDS library will have a mix of non-GHS formatted and GHS formatted safety data sheets until the transition is complete and chemical manufacturers have reclassified all of their chemicals using GHS criteria and updated all of their chemical documents. Now, the fourth difference is a strict format. As of June 1st, 2015, the HCS will require new SDSs, or safety data sheets, to be in a uniform format and include the 16 section numbers, including an associated information. The new GHS sections are Section 1, Identification. This includes product identifier, manufacturer or distributor, name, address, phone number, emergency phone number, recommended use, and restrictions on use. Section 2 are the hazards. Identification includes all hazards regarding the chemical, required label elements, etc. Section 3 is the composition, information. On ingredients includes information on chemical ingredients and trade secret claims. Section 4, first aid measures. This includes important symptoms and effects, acute, delayed, and required treatment. Section 5, firefighting measures. This lists suitable extinguishing techniques, the equipment, the chemical hazards for a fire, for example. Section 6 is accidental release measures. This lists the emergency procedures, protective equipment, proper methods of containment and cleanup. Section 7, handling and storage, lists precautions for safe handling and storage, including incompatibilities. Section 8, exposure controls, personal protective equipment, lists the OSHA's permissible exposure limits, or the PELs, the threshold limit values, or the TLVs, and appropriate engineering controls and personal protective equipment, or PPE. Section 9 is the physical and chemical properties. Lists the chemicals' characteristics. Section 10 is stability and reactivity. Lists the chemicals' stability and possibility of hazardous reactions. Section 11 is toxicological information, includes routes of exposure, related symptoms, acute and chronic effects, the numerical measures of toxicity. Section 12 has to do with ecological information. Section 13 is the disposal considerations. Section 14 is the transport information. And Section 15 is regulatory information. And finally, Section 16, other information, includes the date of preparation or the last revision. It's important to note that Sections 12 through 15 are regulated by other agencies, so OSHA will not be enforcing them per OSHA regulation. Remember, employers must ensure that SDSs are readily accessible to employees. For those of you that would like to see a more detailed description of SDS contents, you're encouraged to see Appendix D of OSHA's Hazard Communication Standard found in 29 CFR 1910-1200. For more information, go to www.osha.gov.